Baseball is incredibly mental. And so if you don't have a strong mental game, you are not going to fulfill your full potential, which is why in this video, you will learn the top mental training tools that you need as a baseball player. Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. There's no denying the fact that baseball is hugely mental. So much of the game involves you having to deal with failure, you having to have confidence, you having to have a strong mindset in order to put up with all the adversities, all the setbacks, the challenges. But what can you actually do to build a strong mindset? A lot of times as athletes, and especially baseball players, it can feel frustrating if you feel like right now you don't have a strong mindset. Maybe you're struggling with anxiety. Maybe you're struggling with low confidence or the fear of failure. And so it seems that you just don't have the skills to have a strong mindset that you need to reach your goals in the sport. But just like you've spent hours perfecting your swing, improving your fielding, improving your pitching mechanics, the same goes for your mind. If you take the similar approach of saying, okay, I'm going to consistently train my mindset just like I've consistently trained my physical skills, well, then you're going to be able to build confidence. You're going to be able to build focus. You're going to be able to build mental toughness. To start, here's some mental training tools that you can use. Number one is mindfulness. As a baseball player, you need to be practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is the state of being fully present and fully aware in the current moment. Now, when I say that, what I'm meaning is from a mental standpoint, right? Obviously, your body is physically here, but what are you thinking about? What are you thinking about when you step up to the plate? Are you thinking about how much you don't want to get out? Are you thinking about the guy on second and how you really want to drive him in? Are you thinking about your batting average? None of that is being mindful. None of that is being just fully focused in this present moment. If you could be mindful when you're up to bat, that is going to help you be a better hitter. The same thing for when you're a pitcher. If you can be on the mound, focused and fully mindful, that's going to help you be a better pitcher. Now, to practice mindfulness, you want to practice something known as mindfulness meditation. Now, okay, I know that maybe you're not too interested in meditation, but this is a very, very simple and powerful exercise that you can use to improve your focus. Because I really like to say, with all of the athletes that I work with, mindfulness training is focus training. You are training your ability to control your attention. To practice mindfulness, what you want to do is set aside 5 to 10 minutes to begin with. You can even start with 2 to 3 minutes. In the beginning, the consistency is key. So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself an amount of time that you're going to be able to commit to on a consistent basis. Now, once you've decided on the time, get yourself into a chair or sitting on the ground or wherever and set yourself a timer. With mindfulness, you can just guess, but I really just like it to be easy where you set a timer to where you're not thinking about, have I done it long enough? Because you don't want to bring that thought into the mindfulness practice. So set your timer, trust, okay, when the 3 to 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes are up, I'm going to know. But when I'm doing my mindfulness meditation, I am just fully focused on my breath. And that takes us into what you're going to actually do to practice mindfulness. So you close your eyes, and then you just start taking deep breaths in and out. And you want your attention solely on your breath. Just feel like you're fully aware of your breathing. Now, you are going to start having thoughts. You're going to think about all the work that you have to do. You're going to think about practice, maybe your last game, maybe the game you have coming up. That's okay. Because here's where you're actually training this mindfulness. You notice that thought. Okay, so for example, you notice yourself thinking, oh man, we're playing that really good team this weekend. You notice that, but then you say, nope, I need to be focused on my breath, and you pull your attention back onto your breath. That act of noticing and pulling your attention back onto your breath, that is where you're training mindfulness. So you just do that on a daily basis. Like I said, commit to a time period, and that's going to help you train your focus. The next mental training tool you can use as a baseball player is mental rehearsal. Mental rehearsal is also known as visualization and mental imagery. And this is just the practice of imagining in your mind, so rehearsing in your mind, your skills. As a baseball player, this can include hitting, this can include fielding, this can include pitching, right? Think about any skill you want to improve, any skill you want to be more confident at, any skill you want to be able to perform better under pressure, that's where you can use mental rehearsal. What you do is you get yourself either lying down, you can sit in a chair, and you close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, really try to calm yourself down, get nice and relaxed, and then you imagine yourself performing your skill. So if you're imagining yourself fielding a ground ball, you would, number one, go into great detail first, right? What's the field look like? Who are you playing? Is this ground ball coming from a live hitter? Is it coming from your coach? Go into detail about that. But also make sure that you're seeing it as if you were there. Don't see yourself fielding a ground ball. See fielding a ground ball, right? Be there like you do in real life, because that's very important. The more you can make this like real life, the more it is going to be interpreted by your mind like real life, which is then what helps with skill mastery and helps with being more confident. So go into great detail. Once you're in great detail, see the ball hit, see yourself field the ground ball, see yourself throw it to first base or throw it to second base, third, home, wherever you're throwing it to. And while you do this, bring emotion into it. Feel confident while you're fielding the ground ball. And then especially when it's finished, you have to take a second, as odd as it may feel, and it might not be exactly what you do in real life, but really, really feel successful. The reason that you want to feel successful is that helps you build that memory of success. And confidence really requires you to see yourself succeed. So if you do this mental rehearsal, right, you've performed, you fielded that ground ball, you feel successful, that's going to help ingrain that memory of success in your mind. So then when you actually go to a game or you go to practice, you're going to be more confident at fielding ground balls if you've done this 10, 20, 100 times in your mind already. The third mental training tool you can use as a baseball player is setting performance objectives. Performance objectives, they allow you to really say, okay, today this is what I'm going to work on. These are great for practices, and they also work really, really well for games. Now for practices, well, for both of them, really, you want to set them on the mental side and the technical side. You're going to set maybe just one for each. Now, for practices, your technical side is really going to be focused on what am I wanting to improve today. So if you are a pitcher and you have really been struggling with your slider, well, you say, okay, my performance objective today is to work on my slider, but you want to get more specific than that. So what aspect of your delivery needs to be improved when it comes to improving your slider? The same thing goes for hitting. If you want to be a better hitter, if you're really struggling with hitting outside pitches, what is your objective today? Right? Maybe it's going to be, I want to make sure that I let the ball get deep on all of my batting practice swings, because that's going to help me drive that pitch to the opposite field. Now on the mental side, same thing with practices. It's going to be something that you need to work on, something that you really need to work on that's going to help you succeed moving forward. A lot of times this could be, I want to focus on repeating my self-talk. I want to make sure that I am seeing myself succeed before I actually do it. So I want to practice a little bit of visualization when I'm at the field. I want to feel confident throughout practice. I want to enjoy myself. Now, the difference between performance objectives for practice and performance objectives for games is that practice, the objectives have the intent of improving. Games, the objectives have the intent of what is going to put me in the best position to play my best. So your technical objectives are going to be a little bit more facilitators. So at the plate, a really good one is I want to make sure I stay balanced throughout my whole swing. When you're in the field, I want to make sure that I'm watching the ball all the way into my glove. When you're pitching, something as simple as I want to make sure that I focus on the catcher's mitt with every pitch. Those are very small things that are part of the process, but they keep you focused on what you need to be focused on that allows you to then perform your best. The same thing when it comes to the mental objective. But the mental objective is, I want to just make sure that I focus on feeling successful throughout the game, feeling confident, enjoying myself. What do you want to be focused on? What do you want to be thinking about? How do you want to be feeling? The last mental training tool that you need as a baseball player is breath work. Breath work is a little different than mindfulness, where this isn't as formal of a practice. Mindfulness, if you do it on a daily basis, which I highly encourage you to do, that requires you to set aside some time in a very, very private environment because you need it to be quiet. You need to be really able to get within yourself and train that mindfulness. Breath work is something you can use during practices or games in the moment. With breath work, it works really well to calm yourself down and help you relax. And this is incredibly important if you're in a crunch time moment, maybe you're feeling a lot of pressure in the game. With breath work, I really like count breathing. What you do with count breathing is you breathe in for, let's say, a count of 5. Then you breathe out for a count of 10. You can also use box breathing, where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 4. But using this, it's so good because it brings your attention onto your breath. And when you're feeling a lot of nerves during a game or a lot of pressure, that has to do with what you're thinking about. And what you're thinking about is the future. So when you focus more on your breath and you bring your attention onto your breath through some breath work, from a physiological standpoint, that's going to help you relax. But from a mental standpoint, it also preoccupies your thinking, and it keeps you from worrying too much about what's going to happen because you're thinking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and etc. These are 4 very powerful mental training tools that you can use as a baseball player to help you improve your mental game. And when you have stronger mental skills, that's going to translate to greater success for you on the field. Thank you for watching, and I wish you the best of success in all that you do. I hope you enjoyed this training. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We put out new trainings each week on sports psychology and the mental game. If you have any questions about this training or any sports psychology topic, please leave a comment below. If you want to learn more about myself or Success Starts Within, head over to successstartswithin.com.